Stadium. This is the 2015 Subway AUS Women's Rugby Championship right here in Antigonish. The Acadia Axewomen versus the St. Francis Xavier Axewomen. Well, Francis, great to have you with us here at Olin Stadium on the campus of St. Francis Xavier University. Bill McLean, joined by Coach Jack Hanratty. Izzy Germain coming up in a few moments. Coach, the last 2 years, these two teams have had historic battles in the championship game. 19-12, both years, both won by StFX in overtime. This year, both teams are going to the Nationals, but we were talking earlier, that doesn't make this game any less important.
Absolutely not. Both teams know that they're on the flight next week to get to Queens. That doesn't matter. This is a grudge match. Not only has it been phenomenal over the last 2 years, it's also been phenomenal over the last 2 games. Obviously, Acadia coming down here to get that win, and X last week having that big win down in Wolfville.
The matchup at the prop position. Obviously, everybody knows about Tasha McKenzie and Joanna Alfonso. How do you see that matchup going for Acadia?
Well, that was the one thing that we spoke about, which was going to be huge next week, is if Acadia can cope with that scrum. I think they can. Initially, always StFX come out really hard, especially with that scrum. If Acadia can hold that, bring up their defensive line very quick, this is going to be one hell of a battle.
Really key for Acadia to withstand that initial StFX push. They like to put up 10 points right away.
Straight away, and we've seen it in the last 2 games, and we've seen it in the final. It's always been about putting a big points on the board early on, but Acadia are fit. They come back every single time. Can StFX get that lead? Can they keep that lead? And can they always hold on with Acadia always coming back in those 50, 60 minutes?
Finally, it is windy. The kicking game is going to be huge.
Absolutely. Sabrina McDade loves to kick it down that corner. It is very windy. If she can get it, who knows? All
right, it's the Subway AUS Women's Rugby Championship on TV1. Let's go to the third member of our crew, Izzy.
Thanks, guys. I had a chance to talk to both coaches before today's matchup, and Coach Durant knows that he has to control that powerful prop of the StFX Axewomen early, and he needs to stop them before they get moving. They want to keep the ball away from them and hope to outpower the Axewomen today. On the other side, Coach Kavanaugh knows that a 18th straight consecutive AUS title could be difficult to capture, but it's just another day in the books for the Axewomen. They want to keep going, and they want to be champions come CIS championship time. We'll take a quick break. Our kickoff after.
They are our fathers, brothers, mothers and sisters, neighbors, heroes. Canada's veterans. Their courage, service, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. On November 11th, let's remember them. Visit canada.ca/remember them.
Take 2. Cue Steve.
Good evening, everyone. We begin here tonight with a CTV News exclusive story.
1 month into a 7-year jail term, Fenwick McIntosh has yet to appeal his conviction.
Clearly, there are still differing views on the structure of this film tax credit.
The only thing that was going through our mind was like, we've got kids and we want to live.
The Maritimes are watching CTV News. The road to the Vanier Cup starts here. It starts with the desire, the intensity, the drive to never give up. Down to the last heart-pounding second. Be a part of the journey for every hit, every pass, and every touchdown. Catch AUS football, presented by Subway.
Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Ronald McDonald House provides a place for families to stay when they have a child in hospital. It's a home away from home when you can't be near family and community support. It's a place to relax and connect with others. Ronald McDonald House also has family rooms at the IWK and in the Moncton Hospital for those who need a break or quiet place to pass the time. Families from all over Atlantic Canada are welcome. To learn more or make a donation, go to rmhatlantic.ca.
The road to the Vanier Cup starts here. It starts with the desire, the intensity, the drive to never give up. Down to the last heart pounding. Second, be a part of the journey for every hit, every pass, and every touchdown. Catch AUS Football, presented by Subway.
Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport.
Fans, Atlantic University Sports and StFX University would like to remind you that as partners in fair play, we will not tolerate verbal or physical abuse at AUS events. Any profanity directed at
All right, friends, welcome to Antigonish. This is the 2015 Subway AUS Women's Rugby Championship right here on Bell Alliant, TV1, and worldwide to you, friends, on AUSTV.ca. For the third straight year, these two teams come in a highly anticipated affair. You know the story. The last 2 years, St. Francis Xavier, who you're looking at here, beating Acadia 19-12 in the overtime session. First at UPEI, last year in Wolfville, and now in Antigonish. What holds for these seniors and fourth-year players, and especially those who I think about this rivalry, joined here by Coach Jack Hanratty of Rugby Nova Scotia. Coach, I think about those fourth and fifth year seniors who have been going at each other for 4 or 5 years now. Acadia trying to get over the hump. StFX doesn't want to be that team that relinquishes the consecutive streak on their watch.
Absolutely, it'll happen sometime. Obviously, X won't win it every year, although we've been saying that for a few years. But this Acadia team certainly has tons of confidence. There's a lot of confidence in them. They have beaten X on this field twice. They've never beaten them at home in Wolfville and Acadia. But here, why don't they have confidence?
Acadia 2 years ago came in here, defeated the reigning CIS champions 44-13 in a game that shocked the rugby world, especially in the AUS. Acadia to kick off, and then earlier this year on a game right here on Bell Alliant Fiber Op TV1, the Acadia Axewomen with a comeback for the ages, coming back to defeat StFX 32-29. StFX went down to Wolfville just 2 weeks ago, got revenge, defeated Acadia 24-10 at Raymond Field. So again, this one has all the makings of what we expect from these two teams. Coach Matt Durant, early on, changing the lineup a little bit just before the end. Talk about that change up in the lineup.
Yes, there's definitely been a reshuffle in the back line. Clarissa McDonald being injured and not being able to start this game. Maybe he's saving her because he knows that this team is going to nationals anyway. But it is a reshift, and I wonder how late the decision was to the girls. So Maddie McKenzie, who has been such an attacking threat for Acadia all season, she's been moved back to 15, and we see Rachel Chapman has gone into 13. She's very comfortable with that position, so she'll have no problem filling in. And it'll be interesting to see Molly Lewinsky here starting on the wing.
There was our first look at McDade and Meyer of StFX on the far side. Now back this way, Jamie Ward, the Kingston, Ontario native. StFX with early possession, and there's the kick for Sabrina McDade. She is the fifth single-season all-time scorer. From 2013, she had 108 points to McDade.
Yeah, and we know that we spoke about it in pre-game. Sabrina McDade loves to chip it over the corner, loves to hassle the wingers, and she's done that early, and StFX managed to retain possession through that crossfield kick. A very good start for the home side.
Acadia, of course, we mentioned it in the pregame. Acadia is so critical that they withstand that initial StFX push in Wolfville. StFX put about 15 points on the board in about the first 10 minutes at Raymond Field. There's our first look at Ronnie Russell on the near side at the number 8 position today. She was originally slotted in at the 5.
She's been very good ball in hand. You've got to make sure as soon as you get to that touchline, you use that touchline as it's an extra defender. You've got to step back inside to try and retain possession. But I think Ronnie was just hungry to get her hands on the ball there.
Ball thrown in by McKeegan, the Toronto native. Ronnie Russell always gets up for these StFX games, usually right from the start. She is very involved.
You just saw her there earlier with already a tackle that was a little bit high, and it'll be interesting to see how referee Ryan Algoy referees that. There has been a number of high tackles over the previous encounters here. Maybe it's just because it's been a feisty game.
A big push by StFX, setting the early tone here to midfield. Finally, Acadia digs their heels in at midfield. Swung up the far side. There's Meyer again. Broke free for about 4 or 5 meters. Mishandle on the far side. StFX still with it. Unable to break through was Jamie Ward. And again, StFX pushing the pile.
Jamie Ward taking it in there, playing in the back row for the first time over the last few games. Very good defensive tactic there by Acadia. Jamie Ward took it in, was very high. Acadia managed to get 2 people in. It became a maul, held up, wasn't used, and it's going to be the first scrum of the day. Very good defense by Acadia.
We talked about it on Inside the AUS last week and also in the pregame. The battle of the scrum, maybe the most critical critical part of this game.
Absolutely, it's massively important. You've got Joe Alfonso, you got Tasha there. 2 very experienced props, 2 CIS winning props. It's a CIS winning front row, very experienced. They've managed to get the shove on in the early games. It'll be very interesting to see what happens here.
36 minutes remaining in our first half. Just
good start
started
by Acadia.
Acadia finally with the ball, breaking through the wall and into space. Kicked ahead. Our first look here. Bergma. Of course, Bergma, she was an AUS Player of the Week just 2 weeks ago. StFX will get it back and boot it out. That slips past on the far side.
Well, we've talked about the scrum plenty of times, but that's an excellent start by the Acadia scrum. You don't need to push them back. All you need to do is retain possession, have a clean platform, which is what Bergsma loves to have. She had it right in front of her, and a great early break by Bergsma.
So we've seen one Acadia player get out in open space. This is an Acadia team coach that has shown a lot of speed. StFX seem to have it under control, though, in Wolfville.
Yeah, I think they certainly pushed on the number 13, Maddie McKenzie, at the time. Will fullback be more space? I think it can be. I'm sure StFX have been trying to deal with that 13 channel, which Maddie McKenzie has been sitting in all year. So it'll be interesting to see what lines McKenzie can pick up coming into the back line. Great thing about fullback is she can pick holes differently, so it's exciting to see it, and it'll be interesting to see how StFX defend it.
5 minutes in here. The throw in coming up for StFX. There's a good look at Brooke Newsom. Nicely done for Newsom. And now StFX working wide.
They have a free one here. It's advantage from the line out.
Mishandle. A couple times we've seen StFX struggling with passing in the early going. Game time temperature is 7 degrees, and it feels like 3 down on the field. Winds at 37 degrees and gusting up to 55. So it is cold, it is windy. Every time these two teams play in the last couple of years, the weather has been horrendous.
Yeah, well, it's certainly better than it's been the last 2 years, that's for sure.
Rain in PEI, rain last year in Wolfville. Can these two teams match what they've done the last 2 years? Give these fans another treat. This has been one of the most intriguing rivalries across all AUS sports the last 3 years. Good looking boot there for Coach Kavanaugh. Getting another ball in the play.
Sure, it's not the first time he's kicked it across the field. It is interesting to see. I mean, both teams, usually what you have to do is you're playing for your spot in CIS. This year, for the first time, they're not. Both teams are going. So are they nervous of injury? You know, are they nervous about not making that flight next week? It's certainly an interesting one, and it's certainly added to this. But once these two teams have kickoff came, there was no hiding away from tackles, that's for sure.
StFX comes in the number 5 team in the country, Acadia at number 7. Acadia at one point this year were ranked higher than StFX until, again, StFX went down to Wolfville and beat them 24-10. That was a 24-0 game at one point. Acadia put up 10 points in the late second half to make it respectable. Rolled in to Acadia. And there's another good look at Ronnie Russell, the 5th-year senior. Bergsma thrown down. Acadia trying to retain.
Nice offload there from Mackenzie, getting her first touch of the ball.
That was Carolyn Williams with that big hit. Kendall Wilson brought down. Now Acadia flings it wide. Another bobble. StFX nearly breaks out.
Few unforced errors there early on. Excellent break here by Bergsma. What I liked is that she didn't release the ball. She was very entitled to get back up. Tackle was a little bit dangerous. Interesting that Ryan Alguire didn't ask for advice from his two match officials.
Ryan Alguire is the referee, touch judge Kathy DeVoe, and touch judge Catherine Lewis.
That is a bit of a dangerous tackle. I'm sure if he had the replay, he would have had a chat to Jamie Ward.
Physicality has been the main storyline when these two teams play. Haven't seen any big Joanna Alfonso hits yet, but they'll be coming. There's Brooke Newsom. Quickly flying out here by Marcheschuk, the Minnesota Manitoba native. Wrapped up, but still moving forward.
Again, Acadia going for the choke tackle. They don't have to roll away if this goes down. It's a very interesting and good tactic. And if we can't see it, it's going to be a scrum, and it is. It's a scrum to Acadia. That's well played by Acadia again in their defence. Good to see StFX trying to get it wide. Brooke Newsom, Jamie Ward appearing in the back line, trying to use as much space as possible. So they have broken the gain line. They are gaining yards, but the defence of Acadia has been well up to it so far.
As mentioned, the early going, Acadia had to withstand that initial surge. We're 10 minutes in, still scoreless, and Acadia's had some good possession. Rolled in by the Axewomen. Russell gets past Hatfield.
Just an obstruction call there, accidental offside, so StFX are going to have a perfect attacking position. Good to see the number 7, Amelia Hatfield. She's a first year here at StFX. She's getting her start due to injury, and she's certainly taken it there. Missed Russell with the first time of asking, but pushed her into her own man, which means that now they get the prime possession.
This is Marcheschuk. Marcheschuk has it. McDade. And a good look here at Natalie Lesko. Played for the U20 Team Canada team. And now they come near side. Again, Jaleel Meyer. Axewomen getting close now. Tight quarters here on the near side. There's our first look at Joe Alfonso, the second-year player from Ajax. Rookie of the year last year. Axewomen getting close.
There's a huge hole in the middle if they'd just given that extra pass. But here goes the pick and go. Good defence. Acadia have managed to just hold Tasha McKenzie up over the line. Still a perfect attacking position for StFX.
Well, there was our first good look at the combination of Alfonso and Mackenzie. She's a third-year player from Indian Brook.
Well, they certainly have no issue. They get nice and tight 5 meters out. There's just a pick and go and pick and go. Acadia's scrum has started very well, though. Let's see if StFX can get this platform. There was a huge gap right under the post in that last attack. They just couldn't get it, came back inside, and eventually good defence by Acadia.
Arches Chuck. McDade. Meyer. Still no indication. It is a try for StFX. The X-Women are on the board.
No shock who it is either. Number 3, Joe Alfonso gets up with that ball. Second time of asking. They're so critical once they get in there. Just a pick and go. Joe Alfonso, she's so hard to beat, so close to the try line.
So at 27-16. Remaining here in your first half, it is Alfonso. And nicely set up for Sabrina McDade. Mentioned McDade earlier. Her prowess, able to score the ball. 8 converts this season. 5th all-time with 160 points in her career.
Perfect view there of Alfonso getting so low to just get right over that line. And Sabrina McDade has added the extras.
So 7-0 for the X-Women. The champs strike first. Friends, make sure you catch Inside the AUS every single week on Bell Alliant Community or at Bell Alliant TV1. Your inside look at the coaches, athletes, and administrators of Atlantic University Sport. Inside the AUS on demand on Channel 1 and 401 on Bell Alliant TV1 and also online at bellalliant.ca/TV1. You can see Coach Jack Hanratty on the most recent episode. If you want to get a quick preview of the game, Coach and I were down in Wolfville. And he broke down the matchup for you, so if you want to check that out during the half or when you get a chance.
See how wrong I get it. That's a unforced error, not the greatest reply there from Acadia. Kick going straight out there by Matheson, and there'll be a scrum down right in the middle of the X. It'll be a white ball.
Last weekend in Wolfville in the AUS semi, Acadia defeating UPEI 46-10. Another good building year for that UPEI Panther program. Coach, you said that's a program that the coaches say they hit harder than anybody else in the conference.
Absolutely. Kavanagh certainly has admitted it more than one occasion that at the breakdown they're just ferocious. I think they'd be disappointed with the scoreline, but another very good season by UPEI.
Of course, it was Acadia last year that struggled against PEI at the championships in the semifinal. So a lot of people thought it would be an X-Women rout on Championship Sunday. But again, it went to overtime.
And that's the big change in the tournament. Will this work out for Acadia not having that harder game the day before? Were X more fresh last year, but this year there's no excuses for either side. Both have had a week off and both have had perfect preparation.
24 minutes. Just over remaining here in your first half. Another scrum coming up here on Acadia's side. Thrown in by Jenny Matheson. The AUS leading scorer this year with 54 points for Jenny. 4'10" is that
playing
little
against
sensation.
her former school as well.
Trying to swing it out here. Quickly brought down and pushed back. Acadia out of the rock with Russell.
Well played by JD Meyer. Just that intense hit kept the leg drive going, got up on her feet, and very unlucky not to win the ball. It's a good play by Rachel Chapman and a good offload.
Have yet to see Maddie McKenzie involved. There's Chapman again. McKenzie at the fullback position this game.
Bergsma sees a little gap and a nice offload. And there went McKenzie.
There she is.
Commentator's curse there, Bill. Bring her in, and perfect line though, right off the shoulder. Just a difficult pass to take, but it's great to see her popping up in those opportunities.
37 points this year for the Peterborough native. She was the CIS Athlete of the Week after that Acadia win over StFX. 23 minutes to go here. Acadia looking to respond. Marches Chuck. And he'll come near side to McDade. Meyer working her way to midfield. Nice catch, McKenzie. Great tackle for Acadia with Bergsma. You know, Tasha McKenzie, she's so big. Her hands are so soft, and she's so she can really play a great.
Absolutely, she loves getting her hands on the ball as well. Both prop forwards love getting their hands on the ball. And let's see a good pass here from Joe. Lovely line. They just needed to get that offload a little bit quicker. Still an opportunity here for X.
That's McKenzie and Alfonso both. They both easily catch the ball in transition, in motion.
That's usually coming at a lot of pace as well.
Bergsma try to break through, pushes the pile for a bit. Out of the ruck comes Acadia. There's Russell again, her first big hit of the match. You knew it was coming with Ronnie.
You can't go high on Russell there. Hatfield just went high, and Ronnie's upper body strength just flinging her to the ground.
Delory. Gauvier. Acadia players still on the pitch. Says okay, and there's our first look at Maddie McKenzie in a sprint. Lauren Agnew comes over.
Bergsma put that just lovely ball right on the line and inviting McKenzie to come onto that play. But it was excellent defence before that there by StFX.
21-20 to go here in this opening half. StFX on a try by Alfonso about 7 minutes ago. Convert by McDade. Great to have you with us on AUSTV.ca worldwide. And of course right here in beautiful Atlantic, Canada on Fiber Op TV 1. Nicely done for Danny Wilson, or Danny Wyson, sorry, at the number 7 spot. There's McKenzie again now. Into space. McKenzie. Acadia on the board.
Alguire hasn't awarded it yet. He's going to check with the touch judge. For me, it's a try. And he will award it.
It's Maddie McKenzie. Sure enough.
Well, we spoke about earlier that it'll be interesting to see from fullback where she's going to pick up the lines. There I felt like the pass had to go, but just powering through the StFX defence, and a well-taken score by Maddie McKenzie.
Now a tough angle for Jenny Matheson. And again, that wind is blowing from left to right on your screen. And kind of pushing out. So that's actually not a bad win for Matheson right now to contend with. At her back here. Pushing to the left. That looks pretty good. Nicely done.
Straight through the sticks there. It's a perfect start for Jenny Matheson. She'll be delighted with that.
Third-year player from Halifax. All right, Acadia responds. Here we go.
Maddie Lesko just couldn't hold on here. Maddie McKenzie just going through and then just giving a, not putting it down, inviting Sarah Gandy to come on and try and finish off the tackle.
Well, friends, we would not be here in Antigonish without our proud sponsors, Subway and Gatorade Series, Budweiser, and of course Bella Light. Proud to sponsor this championship game. Kicking off the 2015 Subway Championship season.
Good kick there by McDade, but well played by Natalie Silver, holding onto that ball and again taking it forward to that gain line.
Brought down quickly. Acadia does regain with Matheson, Wilson, and McKenzie again.
Wrap around play there by Bergsma, trying to get Maddie McKenzie into as much space as possible.
Agnew delivers the big lick. A fourth-year senior. Big clear out of the ruck there by McKeegan. StFX all over this one as well, as Lesko knocks her down.
Acadia not calming this down, going quickly, not trying to find the yards there, just trying to really lift this tempo up. It's an interesting tactic. And another fresh advantage. It has paid off, certainly by Acadia. They're going to go again. Rachel Chapman takes the quick penalty. She's got to get some support with her, but she might need it.
Williams brings her down.
That's well played by Chapman, just taking that quick penalty. Good hands by Bergsma. And if Wilson can get this offload, there was a lot of space out there, and they're still going there with Bergsma.
Meyer made the tackle, but Acadia on the far side with it. There's McKenzie.
This is really good ball retention by Acadia. They'll be very happy with this spell of play. All coming from regaining the kickoff after scoring that important try. 2 penalties in a row, and now they're only 10 metres out.
Amelia Hatfield. Our first look at her. There's Rutledge, the Haligonian. Or Delori, sorry.
Also the Haligonian.
Natalie Silver. Trying to power forward. Canning, Nova Scotia.
And the referee is going to stop here. It is going to be a penalty to Acadia. Referee's going to have it. It's been too many. This is going to be the first talking to.
So there's a talking to McKeegan. Let's go. Comes on over.
This is going to be an interesting decision by Acadia. They're 10 metres out. Matheson, does she have the boot to go for it? It looks like they've placed the ball down. They're going to run this penalty. So rejecting the opportunity to try and go for 3 points with 15 minutes left in the half.
The big pass there, long pass there for Russell. Shakes off a couple tacklers, and then Ward brings her down. Bergsma. She's been busy in the early going of this one.
Absolutely, she's really impressed me so far. There is another fresh advantage here.
Dondi
does well to keep that in play.
Matheson again. Intercepted by StFX.
But another penalty, and I think Alguire, after having the conversation, might be going to his pocket. This could be a big change in the half.
All right, we'll wait for the yellow here, for the card.
That's a big game changer, and it's going to be a big decision for Acadia here again. StFX are down to 14 players.
All right, Phil Curry stands by. Go ahead, Izzy Germain with Phil.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the Executive Director of the AUS, Phil Curry, and we're going to talk a little bit about this partnership we have, Bell, Alliant TV1, and the AUS. How has this 5-year deal helped promoting the AUS and help the teams and the universities in general?
Well, first of all, I mean, the ability to get 9 of our events over the course of the season on TV is a big deal. And you know, when you look at women's sport, I mean, to get women's sport on television is a big, you know, it's a priority for us, and really speaks to that. And you know, thanks to our partnership, it allows that to happen. And here we are at a great championship and 2 great teams. And as you know, the last couple of years, it's been outstanding. So to be able to bring this to the viewers, I think is something pretty special.
We'll talk a little bit about this championship. These are 2 teams that have been going at it for many, many years now in the AUS. How do you see women's rugby developing from here?
Well, I mean, you know, anytime that we can get this level of competition within the conference itself, obviously that helps other teams, come along and grow and strive to be as good as these two teams are. So it only helps development, and I see a lot of interest out there in terms of university rugby right now. So it's kind of outstanding. We love it.
Awesome. Again, thank you, Phil, and we look forward to all the rest of our events this year with the AUS.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. The try for Acadia. Coach, what'd you see?
Maddie McKenzie again with a great finish. It was great to see a little tap penalty. Bergsma with a wrap around here, inviting winger to come on. It was an excellent pass by Tamara Dondi, and look at this finish. Kugel made 10 yards straight away. It was one clean ball, and then one phase later this try came in for Maddie McKenzie.
2 tries for Maddie. She's got 10 points now. That kick's going to come up short from Matheson. Again, that one kind of into the wind this time as it's pushing across the field to the right. So McKenzie again. She has played well against StFX, especially here in Antigonish.
I think she's enjoying the position at 15. It seems like she's got acres of space, and she will have more. There has been a yellow card to Jaylee Meyer, so we're going to go for another about 8-9 minutes for that yellow card. And it'll be interesting to see what StFX do. They know how to absorb a lot of pressure. They know how to pick and go. But here, if I was at the Acadia team, I'd be looking to really trying to get another score in while there's a player in the bin.
It is Meyer right now serving time, the All-Star from last season. Or 12-7 for Acadia. Russell couldn't break through. Nice job by Hatfield. Good pass, Bergsma in stride. A tackle from McDade. And now again, here comes McKenzie. Hit just as she tried to pass it. Agnew's delivered some big hits on McKenzie.
Absolutely. It'll just be interesting to see how without Jaylee Meyer, they'll be able to cope with that. There was another big gap there, which Rachel Chapman tried to put McKenzie in space again. This is the time now that Acadia want to push another try in.
Nice job by Kugel. Just in front of the touchline. Roblin. Now Acadia comes this way with Russell. Trying to push off there on Jamie Ward. That pass was behind Bergsma. And now with that in front of Russell. So Acadia struggling with pass reception. The big hit there. And here is another look at Alfonso. Oh my. Finally brought down.
Certainly giving the crowd something to cheer about. That was an excellent clear out by Catherine McKeegan. Very experienced, and it was the right time to do it. Now X have tons of space here.
The play by Alfonso setting up space for Lauren Agnew on the far side after a series of passes. Now here comes StFX with McDade. Sarah Roblin, she took one of the chops. There's Alfonso again, brought down this time. Much better for Acadia. Brooke Newsom.
That's big defense, and that's a good call by Ryan Alguire for holding on. And it's interesting with the pressure that's on, there could be another card here. There's a late hit. And there is going to be another card.
Calling Natalie Lesko over. The London native, again, U20 Team Canada performer.
I think he's changed his mind on the card. It is going to be a penalty, though. He's brought in the captain and brought in number 10, Sabrina McDowell. And it was for a late hit. After the penalty, Jenny Matheson took it very quickly and gave that pass away, and it was just for that penalty. Here we see the this brilliant drive through by Catherine McKeegan, coming straight over, grabbing that ball, and that led to the attack by X. And here was Alfonso.
Ball down the near side, mishandle for Cranston. The Dauphin, Manitoba native gets the kick away. There's Dondi again.
That's probably why they're taking so many kick penalties, or quick penalties rather. They've tried to kick it to touch once now and they've failed. It's got to be that's your easy yards. You've got to make sure that goes to touch. Good hands by Delory.
Acadia trying to move to midfield with Roblin. Matheson goes to the far side. Chapman. Right back that way goes Bittorf. Bergsma.
Lovely time pass and Russell's in space.
Ronnie Russell gets past Agnew. And finally Agnew catches up and brings her down after some support came from a teammate.
Another advantage for a penalty. Here goes Delory. She straightens it up. Good fight. Try time.
The Acadia Axewomen.
Great speed and great leg drive there by Emma Delory.
3 tries in 15 minutes.
She cut back inside here. I think both players thought she was down. McDade tried to come across to cover. Great leg drive and well taken score by the second row.
Goes up high to get past Williams and then just gets down low and pushes McDade.
3 or 4 defenders there. I think Coach Kavanagh will be disappointed with the defense there.
This Acadia team, again, all those seniors trying to get over the hump, get their first championship. That's StFX team. All those seniors trying to make sure that the streak doesn't end on their watch. Heartbreaking losses the last 2 years for the Axewomen. 17-7, here's Matheson again. This is a tough angle in that wind. Can be close, comes up just short. Leo McPherson is coming up at halftime with Izzy Germain, so stick around for Leo McPherson. He, of course, Director of Athletics here at StFX and also the Chair of Women's Rugby. And also Izzy will be with the leading coach at halftime. And right now that looks like Mr. Matt Durant in his 6th season as head coach of Acadia. The Coach Mike Kavanagh and Matt Durant ran the table on CIS Coach of the Year for 3 years straight, with Kavanagh in 11 and 12, Matt Durant in 2013. But Matt Durant still looking for his first AUS championship. StFX has won every year since it became a fully sanctioned sport in 2002. A big hit by Newsom. Bittorf.
Alguer sent a forward pass. Player going to come on for the yellow card, and now I thought she was coming on. Ran on. Jaylee Meyer dying to get back onto the field. It's been a great spell for Acadia while StFX have been down to 14 players. She'll have enough time to come on and try and get a score in before the half.
That's your big storyline right now. The yellow card is Jaleel Meyer. Acadia taking full advantage.
You've got to respect the tempo that Acadia are playing. They're tipping and going every single penalty, trying to keep everything really fast. Obviously, they trust themselves. They trust their fitness to try and continue with the play. Hasn't been much stoppages in this first half.
2 tries for Maddie McKenzie. Emma Delory with the last one just moments ago. StFX looking to respond here. Down a player. McDade. Flung out there by Marcheszczuk.
The line speed has been good by Acadia, but I do fear that they've been offside a couple of times and have been given the benefit of the doubt.
That was Sarah Gandy, the Truro native, now in her 4th year. They had seniors night as well before the game, just before Old Canada. When you joined us, they were honoring seniors playing their last game here in Antigonish. A group that hasn't won a championship in Antigonish for a few years now.
It's a better kick by Matheson, and I think it's a good decision to slow it down. They've kept that tempo up for a long time. I think she needed to do it to give her own team a bit of a break, and as we see Jay Lee Meyer returning to the field of play.
So Meyer's back on there. Again, 20 points this season, an all-star last year. Loose ball. 2:33 remaining. Marcheszczuk, mishandle from Meyer. The cold hands coming off. Wilson. Now Acadia tries this side.
Good hands.
Russell gets past Alfonso.
The one-handed offload, I don't usually like to see it, but it did the job in that occasion. But here's the turnover.
Great catch from McDade and the kick.
It's an excellent kick for field position by Sabrina McDade. I am surprised she hasn't done it enough, but this wind I think is a little bit against her. The second half, I'm sure it'll be looking to get in this bottom right-hand corner when Acadia have that little bit of a wind advantage. Or sorry, when StFX have a little bit of that wind advantage.
Some brave fans right there. The place is filled up. When we were doing our pregame, there were 2 Acadia fans that were here at about 6:20. They're still down to the far right side.
It's pretty cold out there. It's kind of toasty in the commentator's box here.
It is close to 0 with the wind chill. Again, we got it good up here in the press box. Nicely done by Russell. Ward and friends bring her down. McKenzie gets it back from Dondi. There's Chapman. And StFX fans again not happy.
Referee has called it. The player wasn't rolling away. It's another penalty. And there's certainly, I think they'll have to talk about the penalties when StFX come in at half-time. 1 minute to go here.
The wind has died down a little bit from the pregame. Big hit, Alfonso on Kugel.
It's the wrong person to be running into.
And Acadia, though, undaunted. Maddie McKenzie, she takes a big lick.
Kugel hasn't gotten up since that big hit by Joe Alfonso.
Everybody hoping now that Kugel's okay. You never like to see an injured player. Doing games now at StFX, you always know when Joanna Alfonso has made a hit. The response from the crowd. Even when she plays in other venues as well. Waiting moments of this opening half. Izzy Germain coming up with Matt Durant. Leo McPherson.
It'll be near enough. I think the referee will have to stop the play here due to front row player Janice Kugel being injured. She has gotten back up. I wouldn't like to receive one of those hits from Joe Alfonso.
A 4th-year prop from Lethbridge. Again, one of these Acadia seniors looking to finally get over the hump. And here it is, Coach. Oh, my.
It's the initial. She gets low enough, but it's just that upper body strength that takes them down. She always looks for that positive tackle. It's the wrong player to be tapping a go to. I think Alfonso had lined her up and pushed her back.
A 10-point lead. Again, just about finished this first half. Here comes StFX with Lesko. And a mishandle. Picking it up is Dondi. Leaves it for Matheson. Bergsma. Into Laurie.
She's been everywhere today. I've been really impressed by Emma Delory. She's had a very good season.
Russell. There's Bergsma again to Wilson. Alfonso just rips it away.
Here, you've got to take the points here. You're 17-7 up for me. I definitely look for a shot at goal. But with the confidence that Acadia are playing with, looks like they're going to tap and go.
Again, that's a favorable angle for a kill. Or for a kick, but they will. Trying to get space on the outside.
It's good line speed by StFX from the penalty.
Matheson. A little miscommunication there for the Axe. And McKenzie takes a big hit from the attacking Acadia player. She's okay. Great tackle. McKenzie. Nicely done to Bergsma. Not down by Rutledge. I wasn't sure who she had. Goes to Natalie Silver. Natalie Silver in that game last month here at Antigonish came in the second half and played very well.
Certainly made a difference, and it's really important to get some good first phase possession, which is what she's known for. Definitely held there, and it's going to be a penalty in a similar position to where Acadia had that opportunity to take the 3 points. Will they regret that come full time?
It seemed, again, in that Antigonish game like they weren't going to get enough points because they kept missing their converts. Of course, they did go on to win 32-29. Trailed 29-10 in that game to the national defending champs. And there is time. All right, well, the AUS on TV won the 2015 Subway Women's Rugby AUS Championship. Great to have you with us from gorgeous Antigonish. And, of course, we wouldn't be here without our proud sponsors. Subway. Of course, again, they pretty much make this whole thing go. Subway, eat fresh, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport. Gatorade Series, proud sponsor of the AUS. Budweiser, grab some Buds, the king of beers. And of course, Bella Light, powering AUSTV.ca to friends worldwide, and the home of Fiber Op TV. Over 90 games this year, featuring the AUS on Fiber Op. Okay, Izzy Germain's going to go try to hunt down Matt Durant. Coach, not only did Acadia withstand the initial StFX push, took full advantage of the loss of Jaleel Meyer and got themselves a nice lead here at half.
It's certainly a lot about playing the referee. Acadia have had a lot more penalties awarded to them than StFX in this first half. It was interesting to see that the yellow card comes out early, and instantly that shows that there is going to be yellow cards. I'd say there'll be more in the second half.
Again, Izzy Germain coming up with Matt Durant. Also, Leo McPherson at halftime, so stick around for that. Izzy coming up here with Matt. But, again, it's just the physicality. And not just StFX. They've kind of pushed them around at times, like 2 games coming up to this. But Acadia has some big hits in that half as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything goes out the window when it's this final game. Russell has been dominant with ball in hand. The work rate of Emma Delory has been fantastic, and Jill Bergsma, she's just getting space for Maddie McKenzie, who I think is enjoying this new position of fullback in the AUS.
Coach Matt Durant coming up here with Izzy Germain. More Coach Jack Hanratty coming up at the end of the halftime and into the second half. Of course, great to have Coach with us, provincial coach for Rugby Nova Scotia. Go ahead, Izzy, with Coach Durant.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Duran, and I was just telling you, you guys are making me a rugby fan. What a great half from your girls. You must be happy with this performance so far.
Yeah, we really didn't come out strong in the last game in the first 10 minutes, and that was our real focus. We knew if we could win the first 10 minutes of this game, we've got a really good chance to win the whole thing. So it's going to be an exciting second half.
What's the message to the girls? It's a long game and obviously cold and windy here, so what's the message to the girls to keep this up?
We're a fitter team than they are. I think that, so long we're in a great position. I think that our tempo is going to be higher in the second half than theirs. I think we've done a good job of making them chase us around the first half with some big runs, and we're going to keep doing more of the same.
I'm going to let you go warm up, and good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Very much.
We're going to take a quick break. I'll be right back with Leo McPherson, the athletic director here at StFX, right after this.
The road to the University Cup starts here with Atlantic University Sport Hockey. You followed them in the juniors. Now's your chance to see them play again. Follow them in university hockey. They're faster, they're stronger, and they're playing harder than ever before. For game times and schedules, visit AtlanticUniversitySport.com.
Sport universitaire de l'Atlantique.
Presented by Subway Restaurants.
Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport.
Take two. Cue Steve.
Good evening, everyone. We begin here tonight with a CTV News exclusive story.
1 month into a 7-year jail term, Fenwick McIntosh has yet to appeal his conviction.
Clearly, there are still differing views on the structure of this film tax credit.
The only thing that was going through our mind was like, we've got kids and we want to live.
The Maritimes are watching CTV News.
Ronald McDonald House provides a place for families to stay when they have a child in hospital. It's a home away from home when you can't be near family and community support. It's a place to relax and connect with others. Ronald McDonald House also has family rooms at the IWK and in the Moncton Hospital for those who need a break or quiet place to pass the time. Families from all over Atlantic Canada are welcome. To learn more or make a donation, go to rmhatlantic.ca.
They are our fathers, brothers, mothers and sisters, neighbors, heroes. Canada's veterans. Their courage, service, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. On November 11th, let's remember them. Visit canada.ca/remember them.
Everyone, after the first half, Acadia leads the Axewomen 17-7. I am now pleased to be joined by the chair of women's rugby at the AUS, as well as the athletic director here at StFX, Leo McPherson. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you about women's rugby here. We have 4 teams in the conference. These 2 teams obviously going head-to-head in these last few championships, but you have UPEI who had a great season. What does that mean to you guys at the AUS?
Well, I mean, the upper echelon of the AUS, Acadia and StFX, been really strong for the last few years, and UPEI, always have a strong program, and we're looking for St. Mary's to improve over the next couple of years as well. So we want a healthy, vibrant rugby conference here, and the participants in rugby across Canada, and especially women, has grown tremendously in the last number of years. So we expect that momentum to continue.
Obviously, having these 2 teams who are national contenders, obviously the Axewomen being national champions, how does that help bring players here to the East Coast and play in the AUS?
Well, I know for StFX, our rugby program led by Mike Kavanagh, it's become a destination program. So people from across the country really contact us. I mean, we recruit them, but they contact us, and we've had Westerners, but primarily Ontario East with the odd Westerner here, but it's good rugby, and it proves that you can come here, get a great education, and play best-in-class rugby, and and achieve all your goals.
Here specifically at StFX, I think you said a destination school, but not only for rugby. You have a destination school for a lot of sports. How do you continue that success? Is it great coaching, or is it finding the right athletes?
Well, it starts with great coaching. Actually, let's back up. I think it starts with great leadership at the president level and on down. Hiring the right coaches that recruit the right caliber of student athlete, not just talent, but character and leadership qualities. But you get the right coach, and then a lot of good things can happen. So I give full marks to Mike Kavanagh, what he's done here. And he assembles talented young student athletes, but he gets them to buy into the team concept. They're fully invested in that. And, it's a team game. It's probably the ultimate team game. And, any success we have is when they play together. If they don't play together, we can be beat along with anybody else.
Well, you guys have a great leadership program here. I think that helps as well. But a great game in front of us and a great year, I think, ahead for the StFX Athletics. Thank you very much, Mr. McPherson, for joining us.
Much. All right.
17-7, the second half coming your way right after this break.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Right, the last minute.
The road to the University Cup starts here with Atlantic University Sport Hockey. You followed them in the juniors. Now's your chance to see them play again. Follow them in University Hockey. They're faster, they're stronger, and they're playing harder than ever before. For game times and schedules, visit AtlanticUniversitySport.com.
Sport universitaire de l'Atlantique.
Presented by Subway Restaurants.
Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport.
Take two. Cue Steve.
Good evening, everyone. We begin here tonight with a CTV News exclusive story.
1 month into a 7-year jail term, Fenwick McIntosh has yet to appeal his conviction.
Clearly, there are still differing views on the structure of this film tax credit.
The only thing that was going through our mind was like, we've got kids and we want to live.
The Maritimes are watching CTV News.
Ronald McDonald House provides a place for families to stay when they have a child in hospital. It's a home away from home when you can't be near family and community support. It's a place to relax and connect with others. Ronald McDonald House also has family rooms at the IWK and in the Moncton Hospital for those who need a break or quiet place to pass the time. Families from all over Atlantic Canada are welcome. To learn more or make a donation, go to rmhatlantic.ca.
They are our fathers, brothers, mothers and sisters, neighbors, heroes. Canada's veterans. Their courage, service, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. On November 11th, let's remember them. Visit canada.ca/remember them.
All right, friends, welcome back. All right, friends, welcome back to the 2015 Subway AUS Women's Rugby Championship right here on TV1. Great to have you with us. And, Coach, two players who are standing out so far for Acadia. It's Maddie McKenzie, the 2012 Rookie of the Year, CIS Athlete of the Week this year. She's 2 tries so far.
2 tries so far, playing in a different position. That she's definitely familiar with the position of fullback, but she's playing at fullback, which is certainly giving her a lot more space. The defence is trying to read it. I think that they've prepared for the main attacking threat of Acadia to be at 13. At 15, she's certainly getting so much space.
Yeah, Maddie McKenzie has played very well here in Antigonish. She had that CIS Athlete of the Week performance. And then Joanna Alfonso, of course, the usual assortment.
I know where to start with Joanna. Hands as soft as anything, and great body position there to get in for that try. But she's making the big, dominant impact tackles that she needs to make, that her team need right now. They're 17-7 down. Joanna Alfonso is clearly showing some more leadership. Obviously, she's only a second-year player, but it's great to see it.
All right, well, Acadia takes the field. StFX. Again, the StFX, this is a team that has won 17 straight AUS championships, 13 straight, since it became a fully sanctioned sport in 2002. Mike Cavanaugh, 8-time AUS Coach of the Year, 2-time CIS Coach of the Year, and of course, 3-time CIS champions. And if you're going to get StFX, you're going to get them on an even year. Let's go down to Izzy Germain, who's with Coach Mike Cavanaugh. So Mike Kavanaugh's again, I was going to say before we went down to coach, if you're going to get StFX, you better get them on an odd year. Because the last 5 years, and if it's an even year, they're going to go all the way.
I don't know if I want to get them on any year. Listen, they've been such great performers, and like what a great recruitment tool. Winning, being CIS champions, being AUS champions year on year, and living in a beautiful place like Antigonish, Nova Scotia. It's not a bad recruiting tool, is it?
Again, two of the great university landscapes in the country. Wolfville down there in Acadia, and here at StFX and Antigonish. There's Mackenzie again, trying to get going here in the second half. 2 tries so far for Maddie. Or check that. Molly Lubinsky, of course. My apologies, the Lubinsky family out there. Her brother Tom was a legendary football player at Acadia.
Mackenzie with a good run there. They were put on the back foot. It was a better start for StFX. It's exactly what they wanted, and a proper good attacking position, good low body position here in the maul. And this is what I think Coach Mike Kavanagh will want to do over the next few phases. Keep it tight, try and get an early score. It's massively important. 17-7 down. They're not used to being down, this X team.
As Marchachuk takes a big hit. McKeegan. Meanwhile, you have this Acadia team, the psyche, the psychology of, again, trying to get over the hump versus StFX, and now coming into the second half, only 40 minutes away from an AUS championship.
But they can't be thinking about that. They've got to just be thinking about playing the game, playing the tactics that have gotten them to a 17-7 lead.
The whole, play to win, not play not to lose thing. You see that overtakes teams that might have a fragile psyche sometimes.
Again, an opportunity here for 3 points, but McDade knows that they're down, and they're going to go for a perfect touch finder. The StFX model has worked particularly well. Why change it? I'm looking here at Newsholm taking it, setting a very low platform, and this could be a perfect opportunity to get 5 early points in the second half.
For the most part, Acadia has kept Mackenzie. And Alfonso under control here.
Newsholm takes, and there's that setting of that maul. They're already rolling. Rutledge has it at the back with McKeegan. Good defense in the end by Acadia after that initial shove.
Alfonso dives. She's got it.
I mean, I think the Acadia defense didn't need to just dive in like that. They were all poised. They were all ready. Let them at you, get a low body position. But Joe Alfonso is so dangerous in that area.
So Acadia 17 and Joe Alfonso 12 right now with 10 of the 12 points.
So that's what happened. The player who was standing in the post position came in an offside position, came in too early, and that meant that Joe Alfonso had basically an easy run in.
That is power and dexterity.
It certainly is, but I think Acadia really didn't help themselves. They need to get tight, they need to have a big work rate there, and they need to make sure they get low on such a dominant ball carrier like Joe Alfonso.
So StFX responds here right away, 3.5 minutes remaining. Or 3.5 minutes into the second half.
I'm sure Acadia would love if it was 3.5 minutes remaining. Looked like a good kick, but it's a let-off. Still 7 points the difference.
All right, so the try for Alfonso. 17-12 here. Alfonso the 2 tries. McDade the convert on the first.
Well played by Danny Wisen. Never giving up that. Even though it hit Joe Alfonso, the ball was still live. She came through and won a good ball. Here's Bertoff. Bertoff with good yards and a decent ball placement. And Acadia just need to keep this ball for a few minutes. Be confident in their position. That's not what they want to do.
Matheson and Wilson.
That's 3 or 4 poor passes by Matheson. And they've lost big yards here, and X have an opportunity on the counter attack. Here's McDade. That's what we spoke about in the first half. That's what we felt McDade might do. Advantage is over.
Acadia feels it cleanly. And space right through the middle. Alfonso pushes her back a few meters. Matheson. Ronnie Russell puts her head down. Wrapped up by Newsom. Into touch. It'll be McKeegan. .34.5 minutes remaining here in Antigonish. Bill McLean and Coach Jack Hanratty of Rugby Nova Scotia. A mishandle for Marcheszczuk.
That's a wrong call by the referee. It was a knock on by the scrum half, and an ex-player picked it up in front. It actually should be a penalty to Acadia. That's a let-off for X. We saw that in the World Cup recently, called wrong as well.
So again, 17-12. Rolled in here by Matheson. Russell.
Acadia just not getting quick enough to the breakdown.
That was Rutledge.
It's just unlucky by Rutledge. It's just a knock on. Good to see her picking and going, trying to keep the tempo going, trying to keep good go forward ball for StFX.
All right, Coach Mike Cavanaugh on the sidelines with Izzy Germain a few moments ago.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the sidelines, and I had a chance to talk to Coach Cavanaugh before the start of the second half, and let me tell you, there's absolutely no panic in the dressing room for the X-Women. They've been down by 12 points before. They've been in this situation in the championship game. They know what to do. They just have to continue to play hard, and they've done so at the beginning of the second half. We'll send things back up to Bill.
All right, great stuff down there with Coach Cavanaugh again. Working his 17th year. StFX has won the AUS championship every single season. And on the comeback trail.
Well played by Jamie Ward, keeping it and timing that offload very well. That is a maul, and StFX brought it in, so they're going to have to use it. But Alfonso does make a difference going forward. It's not used, it'll be a scrum down Acadia ball. That's the third time in this game they've used that tactic. It's well played by Acadia.
.32 minutes remaining. Again, look at some cold folks here, Braven. Some tough temperatures.
I'm certainly enjoying our temperature a little bit more than outside at the moment.
Possibly on a historic Friday night. What a way to kick off the Subway AUS Championship season, should Acadia hold on. And a lot of drama still to come. 31 minutes remaining.
Early push there by StFX, said the referee, and Matheson off she goes with a free kick. Matheson, playing a lot of sevens in the Middle East over the last number of years, has gone to StFX here and plays her summer rugby in Halifax.
Booted forward by McDade and chasing. McKenzie has it. McDade wraps her up.
Good fight there by McKenzie. Good chip and chase, seeing the fullback out of position. Well played by both players. Matheson trying to relieve some pressure with a little bit of a box kick.
.30:45 remaining. 17-7 at halftime.
As well as major partners, Labatt, Pepsi, and television and broadcasting partner, Bell Alliance.
Stick around after the match. All-Stars, awards, championship banner, Subway Player of the Game presentations, and Izzy Germain with interviews. The X-Women pushing forward. Alfonso comes away with it. Rolls over to Laurie. Lori did well to hang with her. Now Mackenzie.
It's a fresh advantage here. So this is a free one. That could be a hat-trick.
Alfonso, she had 3 tries in the first time these two teams met in September before the injury. Think about that game too. Joanna Alfonso came down with spasms halfway through the second half and couldn't finish the game.
Well, she's going to try and finish this one with her 3rd try of the game.
Right back to where she started for Alfonso, playing Acadia in Antigonish with 3 tries. And it was right at this exact same time where she came down with that injury, left the field. And Acadia began that comeback. Alfonso again, 17-17.
She can just get so low around the breakdown. Drive her legs, drive her legs, drive her legs, and get her 3rd similar try.
McDade will get a hold over there on the far side.
Just proving that there is a big wind here.
And again, that's the angle that hasn't been favorable for converts. And again, just wide to the left. All right, well, we're tied up at 17. Of course we are. That's the 3rd overtime in 3 years beckoning these two teams.
Well, at least the scoreline is different.
19, yes, we won't have a 3rd repeat of 19-12. Well, friends, make sure you join us for the Subway AUS Championship season. Next weekend, we are in Wolfville and Moncton for the Subway AUS Men's and Women's Soccer Championships. And in site to be determined for the AUS semifinal. And then the next week for the Loney Bowl. The Subway AUS Championship season on TV1.
This is a really, really important spell for Acadia, and that's exactly what Emma Delory would have wanted with that tap penalty, or with that rob penalty, and Jenny Manson decides to tip and go.
Big hit, Russell clears it out. Matheson. Wisen, we haven't seen too much of Wisen. Playing at the number 7 today.
She's been playing 8 all season. She's played very well. It's great to see her in a starting role for this Acadia team.
Nicely down the far side for Meyer.
Kendall Wilson has been very much under pressure in that 12 spot. But here goes Bergsma. She's got tons of space. Bergsma, she's straight through.
Great sidestep there on Gandy. Bergsma. Maybe the run of the match.
What a score. Well taken. Saw a mismatch straight in front of her. When somebody with such pace, and you don't think Bergsma has as much pace as she does. Seeing her there, she saw a couple of forwards in a rise. She decided to back herself, and she did right. Through the dummy, sold it to both the 15 and the winger. A great, well-taken try by Bergsma, and that is exactly what Acadia needed. It was all StFX in the first 15 minutes of this second half.
A gorgeous move on Sarah Gandy. All right, down there on the sidelines. There's Leo. Phil Curry, of course, Leo, the chair of AUS Women's Rugby. And Phil Curry, the executive director, taking it all in. It's just one of those times where John Keefe down there as well, getting things organized. It's one of these times that those guys just kind of try to absorb it all. You've worked so hard all year, you know, and you just kind of sit back and enjoy what's happening in front of you.
I find it hard that Leo is not showing any emotion at the moment. I'm sure he will come the final whistle.
Again, it's chilly out there, but a beautiful skyline tonight, as always, in Antigonish. Perfect setting again for these two teams.
That's a poor miss by Matheson. She hasn't made the convert, which was relatively underneath the sticks. That's going to be disappointing for her and disappointing for her team that could have got an extra 2 points on the lead.
22-17.
What a game.
Yeah, it's been as advertised so far. Again, highly anticipated since the start of the year. Didn't want to assume the two teams would be playing, and again, PEI building this year. They seem to be right on the cusp. This was the matchup everyone thought would happen.
There's the Acadia corner. You see in the middle of your screen there, Kelsey Brum, who'd be dying to be out there, was a starter in last year's final and certainly was going to be a starter in this year. It's just an unfortunate knee injury. Best wishes to her to get back on the field where she belongs.
Russell. It's Acadia with it. Nice pass here. Bergsma again.
She's been hungry for that ball, and that was an excellent crack line just near the ruck, getting them over the gain line, and an opportunity to go wide here. And Wisen tries to spread her legs. Well played by Wisen.
The first good run for Wisen. Can Agnew catch her? Looking for the indication here.
Another conversation being had. For me, it was a try. I know we're further away here. They're waiting. Everybody's waiting on this conversation, which is taking longer than expected. Try given.
Second-year player from Wellington, Nova Scotia. And Acadia, again, response to a StFX try.
Really, really well taken try there by Danny Wisen. Nova Scotia player, played on the under-20s the season before last, and I had the pleasure of coaching her. She just has a supreme fitness and a very heavy work rate, two perfect attributes you want in your back row forward.
I did an Acadia webcast a few weeks ago. I was to see a replay here. I get a good look at Wisen.
Matheson saw this, but they have been using that yo-yo tactic. There's two front row players right in front of her. She cut through right in the middle and backed herself to get to that corner. Very intelligent play. She knew that there was cover coming across, so it was a very intelligent play to get to that corner. Mackenzie tried to get out there, the number 1, and there was a big hole between Joe Alfonso and Tasha Mackenzie, and Wisen decided to punish that. Well taken try.
I call her a switch player. You see her off the field, she's laughing, joking. She's the easiest going kid, but when she puts the cleats on and gets that hair back, the face just completely changes.
Absolutely, and there's a number of them on that field that would be similar like that. Great spell by Acadia. They did the exact same in the first half, getting a couple of tries together, gaining that momentum. It's been big momentum swings in this game.
22 minutes and a half remaining here.
10 points is a big lead, considering the amount of points that were scored in the last 2 years. I know the weather was different in the last 2 AUS finals. We're seeing a much higher scoring game this year.
StFX. There's Meyer. Marchachuk. Newsom back towards the middle. Breaks a couple tackles. Mackenzie in there clearing space. A rubber kick for McDade.
June Beals has come onto the field, the North Preston native. It was a very good tactic to kick it to that corner. And it's going to be a 22 dropout. You just saw how fast Beals is. She came off the field during the Acadia game at Acadia, so it's good to see her back. I know she's just got back training yesterday. This is an interesting, it's 22 dropout. Will Matheson try and go as deep as she can, or will she put it so that Acadia can contest for possession? She's tried to go deep. It's a good tactic. Agnew kicking that very deep indeed. Where's that going to bounce? And it'll be another 22 dropout.
All right, well, again, 20 minutes away now is Acadia from making history.
That's certainly the most vocal I've seen Mike Kavanagh in a long time. But he is right. He's shouting at the touch judges and the referee, and he does have a point. He is correct. The referee has brought the ball back for a scrum But it shouldn't be a scrum. It should be a 22-metre dropout because it was put down by the Acadia player. That's a completely fair call, and he is completely correct in why he's shouting at the touch judges here.
All right, what's a scrum?
A turnover, maybe that's justice.
Newsom. About 10 meters across midfield. Good look there at Marcheschuk. McKenzie barreling forward. And now Alfonso does the same. No luck there for Newsom, I believe. McDade. Nice push off here on by Lesko. And into space.
And that's a turnover, huge turnover by the Acadia fullback. Great attack there by Lesko, but Maddie McKenzie showing her experience there, and Matheson just throwing it out when she didn't need to, and that is putting your team under pressure. You don't need to do it. Slow it down, take a couple of phases, or get rid of it. After such an incredible turnover by Maddie McKenzie.
Went off the backside of the unsuspecting Dondi.
That's exactly as a coach. I'm sure Matt Durant and Heinze on the sideline are just saying, we did all the hard work to get rid of it. Why then throw it and give it away possession?
McDade. Fake goes back towards the middle, wrapped up there by Gauvier.
And she is trying to hold on to that ball. Well played by Gauvier. It is a maul, and it could be a turnover here. Well played, Gauvier. She's still trying to hang on, even with Joe Alfonso right behind her.
Carolyn Williams gets in there.
And a big turnover. That should be a pat on the back for Ange Gauvier there.
Here's a look at StFX on the bench. Nervousness with the reigning national champions. Again, both teams go to nationals. But again, a championship banner on the line. And the end of a historic run, possibly, for StFX. Thrown in by Matheson.
Turnover in the scrum though, and Newsom. The referee says a early push, and it's going to be a free kick. And instead of a attacking position for StFX, Matheson tries to relieve the pressure with a quick tap, and it's going to be a fresh advantage. And it's a penalty.
$16:40 remaining. There's a good look at Matheson again, only 4'10".
Nickname of Shorty then is fair enough, I guess.
Well, friends, again, we're here in Antigonish on a beautiful night, and would possible by our sponsors. Proud sponsors of the AUS Subway. Eat Fresh, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport. G-Series, another proud sponsor. Budweiser, the king of buds, grab some. The king of beers, grab some buzz. That's 2 weeks in a row now. I've got that wrong. And Bella Light, of course, powering AUSTV.ca.
And a good win in the line out by Acadia. And Ronnie Russell again with good go forward ball. They're nearly up to the halfway line, as we had a good shot of the Emma Taylor, our Nova Scotia and former StFX player, who's just been named to the Canadian Maple Leafs tour to go and play against England. So best of luck at her. She's here watching her former teammates. And of course, a StFX proud alumni.
Just over 15 minutes to go. Taylor, the AUS MVP, she was unbelievable last year in Wolfville. Well, StFX got out to a 7-0 lead. And Acadia made it 17-7 at half. X came back to tie it on 2 Joe Alfonso tries. And then Danielle Wiesen and Bergsma. Missed converts on both, but a 10-point lead. McDade. Trying to get under it here is McKenzie. Gets past Cranston. Nice pass. Lubinsky. Russell. Delore brought down. She had the 3rd try of the match for Acadia. Big collision with Rachel Chapman. And Bergsma again. Matheson, Bittorf, Gouvier, Tamara Dondi brought down at the ankles by Beals.
Acadia just need a little bit more game management. They have retention, they have the ball. They just need a couple of maybe pick and goes and a couple of forward runners that's not just running straight at that first defender at StFX. But StFX, there's been too many unforced errors at the moment.
And Acadia has tasted victory here in Antigonish before. In 2013 and 2015 during the regular season. That 2013 game, again, really set up this rivalry to what it's become today. A 44-13 win for the Axewomen. Opening weekend in Antigonish. Pass knocked down by Bergsma.
Yeah, that's got to be an advantage for a penalty. That's just a slap to kill the ball. "12 minutes to go now. StFX need to get one more score, make this a game. It's a great pass by McDade. Good pickup by Lesko, and here's June Beals.
Pops right up to Kugel.
And there'll be an advantage here to Acadia after the knock on there by Beals, just in contact. Still playing advantage. And this will suit Acadia, this is fine. No advantage, they get to come back for the scrum. 12 minutes to go. This is the decision that both coaches have to make. Do they make changes to change it? Matt Durant is in a different position here. He's got his tried and tested out there. Does he have somebody that can come in for tired legs? And Mike Kavanagh, does he have a risk that can come off the bench and try and win the game? Kavanagh hasn't been in this position before. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And Matt Durant hasn't been in this position before either. So it'll be really, this is a crucial point now. 12 minutes to go, not including injury, of course.
Uncharted territory for these former CIS Coaches of the Year. And twice for Kavanaugh, once for Durant. Matheson.
It's a better pass. Still going aside the field though.
McKenzie. Mishandles. Tough pass there, picked up by...
Couple of knock-ons there. The first one was by StFX. That's a fair call by the referee.
So Agnew will leave it.
This is where the nerves creep back in. All those nerves that you've had all week, they creep back into these last 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 10 points.
The first Subway Championship of the season. Will it go to the folks in Wolfville? They're on the edge of their seats right now. And of course, around the world on AUS TV. Russell. There's Bergsma. Russell again going right at Williams.
Usually you don't like your 10 running straight up as a first ball carrier, but Bergsma's been so strong today that why not keep it rolling? Look where they've gained now. They're up to the 40.
The familiar chants when you're in Antigonish at Olin Stadium of Go X Go.
They're not in the familiar position though.
Close passing on the far side. That's Chapman.
Well played. That's a very nice move by Chapman. Releasing the ball and having the opportunity to pick it back up. Good offloads over there on the sideline. There's been some really nice rugby played here by both teams. Berthoff just going a little bit to the side. There's Catherine McKeegan coming in again. They just need to take this ball in, set it up, and what a person to do it. Ronnie Russell with space.
Knocks down McKeegan. And then trying to hand off there, speedster June Beals got into influence.
Nearly an intercept there, unlucky by Beals. McDade's got to be careful that she's offside.
The biggest hits so far today, Russell and McKeegan.
Here's Mackenzie. She's got space again.
2 tries already for Maddie. And out into open field, make it 3. And Acadia is that much closer to their first ever AUS championship. She has played very well against StFX here in Antigonish this season.
It's that stiff arm, very different to the Hachikiro of StFX. Going so high again to tackle. Mackenzie's so experienced, she just gets that stiff arm. She powers off the defender and gets around the outside. You got to get into a low body position, and they've got to just cut across here. McDade had a perfect position, just went too high. The handoff came in, and again to Agnew. And a very well taken score again by Mackenzie.
The CIS Athlete of the Week after the first time they came in here and beat them in early September. And now 3 tries. The front runner for Subway Player of the Game right now. 32-17 with 7:45 remaining. We could be looking at the end of an era. One of the greatest dynasties in AUS sport. No problem for Matheson. All right, Coach, 34-17. More coming up here. We head down the stretch drive on a possible Acadia Axewomen Championship. Let's go down to Izzy Germain on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the sidelines right beside the Axewomen bench. And obviously, as Bill has mentioned, both teams obviously punching their ticket into the CIS National Championship. So they're both headed to Queens soon, but you wouldn't know it here on the field. Acadia really wants this championship, and so does X. The X bench, nobody on their seats here. They're all on their feet. It's a little bit nervous now after that last try. On the other side of the field, Acadia as excited as they could be, and they've got the crowd behind them here at Olin Stadium. We'll send it back up to Bill as we get ready for the end of this match.
All right, great stuff down there with Izzy Germain. Being on the sidelines at a rugby match, you got to at some point, if you had never done it out there, you got to do it. I love walking up and down with the team as they're going up on the sideline, as they're going up and down.
It's interesting because I hate it. Teams that are coached by me know that I like to be on the end of it. And here's another opportunity. Silver with huge space.
But maybe the defining moment in this one. Silver brought down by Alfonso, and Acadia looking for the clincher.
It's a huge tackle by June Beals. That's exactly what needed to happen. StFX need a score, and they need it very quickly. It says 6 here at the stadium clock, but there's definitely going to be more. It's not including what Ryan Nalguire, the match referee, has started and stopped on his watch. He's the only man who knows how long is left.
Again, after the game, we'll have all the presentations, the AUS All-Stars, MVP, Coach of the Year, all the awards, championship banner, interviews with Izzy Germain. So don't go anywhere. There's Mackenzie again. Just throws it up there. There's your. Oh, there's a good look at. There's the Acadia. Those two, the guy wearing the hat and the woman beside him. They were here. They're the ones we're talking about. We were here at 6:15 before there was anybody else here.
I'm sure it'll all be worth it if Acadia get the result that they're pining after. Alfonso has a bit of space here. She's trying to get it wide. And it's going to be an attacking position here. That line-out throw hasn't gone 5. I don't know why in this instance that they're looking to take a quick throw, Acadia. They've got 5 minutes left. Just slow it down a bit. Enjoy winning the game. Mackenzie has a bit of space here now. Here's Dondi on a great offload.
The only lead for StFX in this game was 7-0 in the early going.
And we've seen it in the last God knows how many games. They get that early score, and usually they get a second and a third, and then it's Acadia trying to play comeback. But here it was the first try went to StFX, and the comeback came early for Acadia.
Again, 13 straight AUS championships for the X-Women since it became a fully sanctioned sport in 2002.
Well played, Catherine McKeegan there. Turnover, player and the ball. And this could go anywhere.
Three and a half left before added. As Coach Kinsman of the Huskies in the crowd. Huskies will look to build next year again. UPEI building, getting stronger and stronger. Acadia now on the verge of an AUS championship. AUS women's rugby in the past 3 or 4 years has completely taken off. No longer a romp for the X-Women is this conference. 2:55.
Well played by Meyer and a good offload.
Let's go. Down by Dondi. A 17-point differential. Last year, every year has been different. 2013, the X-Women had no problem with Acadia during the regular season. Outscored them 91-29.
This Acadia team, certainly they've been bubbling, and I really think a lot of credit to Adam Hines this year, who's come in to do the back line of Acadia. They are really singing today.
And of course, again, last year in Wolfville, 19-12 in overtime, one of the most dramatic games in any sport you'll ever see. As the rain fell down. StFX seemed to deliver a huge psychological blow 3 weeks ago in Wolfville with a 24-10 victory.
Here's Bergsman again. She has been absolutely fantastic. Just that, of course, as soon as I say it, just that offload just came a little bit too late. But she is looking to take on so much ball. Nervous StFX squad look on.
Well, you said unfamiliar territory. This is for the third, fourth year, fifth year players on this team. This is uncharted territory right now.
Jill Bergsman's down.
Now they did have seniors night before the game. There are no fifth year seniors on this starting lineup for StFX from what I can see on my roster. A lot of fourth year seniors. You never know with fourth year seniors if they're going to come back or not.
I'm sure, especially here, they can certainly get tempted back. Here was Silver. Look at that. 2 hands on the ball. Perfect. Holding the dummy. Getting by her player. In the end, just being taken down by Agnew. And Joe Alfonso. Matheson then took it and they went wide, and eventually it worked out. There is Jill Bergsman's come off. She doesn't look good, and that'll be worrying signs ahead of nationals next week.
Again, you ex-women fans, just in case you didn't know, you are going to nationals as well. There's the grubber. Both teams are off to nationals. StFX, I mean, despite a probable loss here, StFX still should get a pretty decent seed. We'll see what happens again. Again, a nationally respected program, national powerhouse program. But looking like Acadia will go as the champs.
And I think in this game, it's nothing that they haven't deserved. They've played with such a high tempo. Every time they have a penalty, the yellow card was certainly a major difference in that first half, and certainly a talking point. Here goes Lesko. And the timing of the passes really just hasn't worked out for StFX. It's not what we're used to with this X team.
Early on, it seemed too.
Absolutely, yeah. But the defence, I think that the couple of choke tackles, or 3 choke tackles that have come in from Acadia, has been a real killer.
Well, you're looking at 2 of the best programs in the country right now. But you're looking at the Acadia Axewomen win their first Subway AUS championship. Matt Durant, in his 6th season, has his first. The end of the run of the X-Women is over at 13 straight since 2002, 17 straight since 1998. Acadia finally
congratulations, absolutely. Congratulations to Acadia. They've certainly deserved it. This has been a phenomenal performance. This has been, in my view, their best performance all year, and in the 3 years and more that I've seen them, this is certainly their best performance. The back line really sang for me today. Maddie McKenzie was superb. Big shout out to Jill Bergsma. She controlled this back line, but in such an exciting way. She took the ball up to the gain line, she stepped inside, and StFX at the moment couldn't cope with it.
What an image that was. The 5th-year senior Ronnie Russell in tears down there, finally getting over the StFX mountain.
It's been a long time coming. This team, it'll be interesting to see how they react. They're going to nationals. They knew they were going to nationals anyway, so they have to take this huge positive with them. They go as champions. Will this awaken the giant that is StFX?
You're looking at the Acadia Axewomen coach, the St. Francis Xavier X-Men, and Mike Cavanaugh. The streak comes to an end, but man, oh man, what an incredible job. Let's go down to Izzy Germain,
All
who's
right,
with Maddie
I'm here
McKenzie.
with the player of the game, Maddie McKenzie. 3 tries. You have the championship away from the X-Women. How do you feel right now?
It doesn't matter how many tries we scored. We've been working so hard for this for the past, well, not me for 17 years, but all the other girls from Acadia. It's been 17 years in the making. In the past 3 years, we've kind of the ball got rolling, and Matt did some great recruiting, and it's just so surreal. It doesn't feel like it's, the final. It's just, we fought hard, and so did X, and it's always going to be a good game, so it feels fucking amazing.
I'm going to let you go celebrate with your team. Congratulations. You're going to the CIS champions as AUS championship.
Thank you.
Great job. Good luck. All right, we're going to get ready now for the medal presentation and all the All-Stars coming up. We'll send it back
she
to Bill
is one of the storylines right now.
Well, she's a star. She's an absolute superstar. She's already played under 20 Canada. I'd love to see her on the sevens, get a chance at sevens at some stage. She's certainly a talent, and I hope she gets noticed for it next week.
All right, let's turn it over to Krista McKenna, the PA announcer for the post-game celebrations.
We now direct your attention to the sideline area for our post-game awards presentation for the 2015 Subway AUS Women's Rugby Championship. Let's give a round of applause to the 2 teams here tonight, the Acadia Axewomen and the StFX Axewomen. We would like to welcome our invited guests and dignitaries to the field this evening. The Executive Director of Atlantic University Sport, Mr. Phil Curry. The Chair of AUS Women's Rugby and StFX Director of Athletics and Recreation, Mr. Leo McPherson. And Program and Communications Manager for Atlantic University Sport, Mr. John Keefe. First, for the presentations of the Subway Player of the Game Awards. Making the presentations is Mr. Phil Curry. The Subway Player of the Game from the StFX X-Women is number 3, Joanna Alfonso.
and the Subway Player of the Game and AUS Championship MVP from the Acadia Axewomen is number 15, Maddie McKenzie. We will now present the 2015 AUS Women's Rugby All-Star recipients and major award winners. First up, your League All-Stars. From UPEI in her 4th year from Riverview, New Brunswick, is prop front row Holly Jones. From StFX in her 2nd year from Ajax, Ontario, prop Joanna Alfonso. From StFX in her 4th year from Toronto, Ontario, hooker Catherine McKeegan. From Acadia in her 4th year from Halifax, Nova Scotia, 2nd row lock Emma Delory. From Acadia in her 5th year from Markham, Ontario, 2nd row lock Veronica Russell. From St. Mary's University in her 4th year from Halifax, Nova Scotia, back row Amy Thompson. From Acadia in her 2nd year from Wellington, Nova Scotia, back row flanker Danielle Wisen. From the StFX Axewomen in her 3rd year from Brantford, Ontario, back row number 8, Brooke Newsom. From UPEI in her 3rd year from Marshfield, PEI, is scrum half Emily Keane. From StFX in her 4th year from Scarborough, Ontario, fly half standoff Sabrina McDade. From Acadia in her 3rd year from Peterborough, Ontario, center Maddie McKenzie. From StFX in her 4th year from London, Ontario, center Natalie Lesko. From Acadia in her 3rd year from Halifax, Nova Scotia, winger Rachel Chapman. And rounding out the AUS All-Stars from PEI in her 2nd year from Sherwood, PEI, is winger Alicia Corrigan. And from St. Mary's in her 4th year from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, fullback Hannah Wallace. And now for the AUS Major Award winners for the 2015 season. The 2015 AUS Rookie of the Year from Charlottetown, PEI, in her 1st year with the UPEI Panthers, is Anique Dykerman. Also from the UPEI Panthers, the recipient of the 2015 Student Athlete Community Service Award is 4th-year student from Fall River, Nova Scotia, Lauren Chamberlain. The 2015 AUS Women's Rugby Coach of the Year for the 9th time in his 17-year career is StFX's Mike Cavanaugh. And the 2015 AUS Women's Rugby Most Valuable Player from Ajax, Ontario, in her 2nd year with the StFX Axewomen is Joanna Alfonso. Congratulations to all of this year's award recipients on a great season. It is now time for the presentation of the Burks Memorial Trophy. The Burks Trophy was named in honor of former X-Women rugby player Michelle Burks. Michelle played with the X-Women for 4 seasons and was a member of the 2006 CIS champion X-Women team. Michelle tragically passed away in 2007, and to honor her memory and her contribution to women's rugby in the Atlantic University Sport Conference, the AUS Women's Rugby Championship Trophy was named the Burks Memorial Trophy. Along with the championship trophy, we have the presentation of the AUS banner to the winning Axewomen team. I call upon AUS Executive Director Phil Curry and AUS Chair of Women's Rugby Leo McPherson to please come forward to present the Burks Memorial Championship Trophy and the AUS Championship banner to the Acadia Axewomen. Co-captains Maddie McKenzie and Janice Kugel and head coach Matthew Durant, please come forward to accept the honors. Congratulations to the Acadia Axewomen on their AUS Championship victory, and best of luck to both the Axewomen and the X-Women next weekend as they represent the AUS Conference at the CIS National Championship, which will be played at Queen's University.
All right, well, what a scene. The Acadia Axewomen. You hear it. 2015 Subway AUS Championships, the first one. Since the time that the sport became fully sanctioned, anybody but StFX has raised that banner. There's one happy coach right there. Izzy Germain's going to come up with him in a few minutes, or a few seconds. In his 6th season, Matt Durant has his first Subway AUS Championship. And again, a team that pretty much did it right from start to finish tonight in Antigonish. Earlier this year, they came in to Antigonish and got a hard-earned 32-29 comeback victory. And then just 2 weeks ago, StFX walked into Wolfville, beat Acadia 24-10. Seemed to be a pretty big psychological blow, and this looked like it was going to come up StFX again this year on their home turf. Go ahead, Izzy, when you're ready.
All right, there's really not much to say. How do you feel right now?
Oh, just elated. I feel so great for the girls. We've worked so hard for so many years to come so close. It's just amazing to finally win it.
Your girls absolutely wanted that when you mentioned that. They looked gritty out there. They wanted it. How did they find that extra energy at the end to get a few more tries to make the score that big?
Our issue hasn't been energy at the end. It's been energy at the start. And we really knew if we had a solid start to the game, we could finish really strong. We've been playing well all year. We're a good fit team. And, we just chatted at halftime. We've been this close before. We've been up by 12 points before on a couple of occasions in these finals. And we come back. They've come back to beat us in overtime. That just wasn't going to happen tonight. The girls were going to play for 100 minutes if we had to.
You had the CIS championships coming up now. What's the game plan there?
Well, we're going to assess some of the injuries. It's always such a physical game when we play X. I like our style of game. We play a dynamic, fast, high-paced game. We work really hard on fitness, and if you're going to work that hard, you're going to use it. So we try to keep the tempo high. I really like how our forwards played today. I liked how our backs were able to, secure the ball in some really kind of unfortunate circumstances sometimes with the wind and things swirling. But, we just put it all together today. It's just great.
Congratulations. We wish you the best of luck at the CIS Championships. You'll make the AUS proud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just grab Russell?
All right, there's one happy coach. Coach, of course, you've had no doubt highs and lows in your career, and man, there's a guy who's fought through a lot of tough times to get to the point he's at now. What do you think's going through his head right now?
Well, I would not like to have been in his head after 2 overtime defeats, so I think maybe his luck's come up. Congratulations to all of them. They're very good. I've worked with them before. They're an incredible group of girls, and they thoroughly deserve it. X have deserved so many successes over the last number of years, but looking at the delight of these faces, it really makes it all worthwhile, and they train hard. This is a very competitive division. We want to make sure that as many teams lift up to the standard of Acadia next. But congratulations, Acadia. Let them just enjoy and bask in this. It's great scenes to watch.
Izzy Germain coming up with one more interview here for you. We're going to get the fifth-year senior Ronnie Russell, and then Coach and I will come back to wrap this one up
Just tell them to go.
on a historic night in Antigonish. Go ahead, Isabelle Germain, when you're ready.
All right, an all-star this year for second row. You guys just won the AUS championship and took it away from a team who's won 17 years in a row. How do you feel right now?
Honestly, I woke up this morning and I had the weirdest feeling. Like third time's a charm that we were going to come back and win it. And we did it, and it was the best feeling ever. I've never felt like this my whole entire life. But I love my team, and we only won because it was great teamwork.
You guys have been to overtime against this team. You guys have lost just by a slim margin. Did any of those memories come back to push you through to the end here?
Yeah, I'm in my 5th year, so basically coming back, I wanted to win the whole thing. And I didn't want to go back into overtime. I wanted to win full out and win by a high score and just blow them out of the water this year.
You have the CIS championship next. How do you feel about going there?
Well, we're going to be placed in a great pool, so we're taking advantage of that. And I think that it's just such a great motivation to win AUS that we're going to go in like Hot Wheels on fire, and we're just going to kill it at CIS.
You look pumped, and
Thank you.
we will look forward to seeing you on the big screen at CIS Championships. Congrats to this.
Thank you so much.
Have a great time tonight. We'll send it back up to Bill to wrap things up.
All right, that is one happy fifth-year senior. She was in tears after the final whistle blew. Coach, again, we'll finish up here, and this Acadia win has kind of speaks to what's going on in Nova Scotia women's rugby, Atlantic Canada women's rugby, and also these coaches, their ability to draw from across the country. We're seeing a huge upswing right now in the sport. You see it every day.
Yeah, like I was in a high school today locally, and this was the talk. This is such an incredible division. I have to say, one of the best things for me tonight was the amount of homegrown Nova Scotia players that got All-Stars. That's a great feeling for the province, and it's a great inspiration for upcoming players in high school, and there's a lot of them.
Well, and also, Coach, we'll get you to sign off here, but it's been a pleasure having you. I know you're receiving a lot of accolades lately, but again, congratulations on all the incredible work you're doing at the grassroots level with Rugby Nova Scotia. I know we've gotten to know each other over the last 6 months, being involved with your summer programs and the network, and man, you are all the time at it. You're one busy dude.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's like seeing those girls out there, knowing so many of them, knowing how hard they work, that certainly gets you up in the morning.
Province is lucky to have you, my friend. Thanks,
buddy.
Coach Jack Hanratty of Rugby Nova Scotia. Thanks to the coach for being with us. Well, friends, is it a new era? We don't know yet. We'll have to wait till next year, but for now, the Acadia Axewomen have won their first Subway AUS championship, ending a run of 13 straight years since women's rugby became a fully sanctioned sport in 2002. Congratulations to Coach Mike Cavanaugh and the Axewomen on what was a historic run. All the best to the Axewomen there at Nationals. They're not finished yet. They're off to Nationals, you Axewomen fans, so don't worry about that. And as for Acadia, congratulations to Coach Durant and Acadia finally getting over the hump after 2 heartbreaking overtime losses. They have a championship to call their own. We're back on the gridiron tomorrow, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We are in Sackville and in Wolfville. We'll be down there with you guys in the valley. Steve Betts, Mike Barkhouse will have the Huskies at Acadia. That's a 2 o'clock start, and you can join me and Coach John McNeil in Sackville for a good one. StFX and Mount Allison with first place rights hosting the Loney Bowl on the line. Well, again, there is Maddie McKenzie. What a vision she was today, leading the charge of the Axewomen. The executive producer of the AUS on TV1 is Scott Squires. Our game day producer is Brian Fisher. Thanks to everybody in Mr. Fisher's crew. Thanks to Isabelle Germain on the sidelines. Coach Jack Hanratty. My name is Bill McLean. Good night from Antigonish.